Hey guys, JoeyG here, and we're going to talk about the comparison between the Fatshark Attitude SDs, which is their top of the line model, and the new Boscam Flyzone FPV goggles. First things first, guys, with appearance, they're about the same size. As far as weight goes, they weigh about the same. This has got a battery on it. This also has the location for a battery, but it doesn't come with a battery. And neither do the Attitude SDs. They do not come with a battery either. But the full kit does come with a video receiver. These do not. And the let's get right back down to the basics here. The design overall, these are a little bit sleeker. About the same material as far as the textile feel of it there. Same interpupillary distance you can change. Head tracking port, video in and video out, which is the same jack. It also has a switch that the Attitude SDs, you can turn off your internal receiver to the video in or turn it on, which makes it video out. When the internal receiver's on, this jack is video out. Or I'm sorry, this jack is video out. Battery. For the Attitude SDs, it's a simple 2-cell battery. Now with the Flyzones, it's got a lot more of a range. You can put a 2 through 6S battery in it, all the way up to 28 volts. The lowest being a 2S battery at 7.4 volts. One big difference is the antennas. This has a single receiver. It's the new Next Wave system. Reception is supposed to be real sensitive. And this has diversity, 5.8 diversity. So this is also compatible now with the immersion frequencies. And another thing is, this has 8 channels of reception, and this has 32 channels. All 4 bands of 5.8 at 8 channels a band. Now the buttons on this, with this knob, can be a little bit confusing at times. Whether you move it this way or push down on it. This is mainly for the head tracker. And this button here is for your screen brightness and contrast, and also to center the, or to also mess with that tracker. The eye cups are pretty much the same. They're identical in both glasses. They even pulled apart. They're identical the way they sit in. So they both really need to be glued. And as far as the buttons go, so we went over these ones, and this is pretty much the only 2 controls you have other than the interpupillary distance changers there in the bottom. Well, on this one, these Flyzones, the buttons are nice and big, and they're easy to feel when they're on your head. You know, you can feel around for the center button on the Fatsharks and move it for your brightness and contrast. But these, you got your volume here, bang, there's your outside camera there. Nice and easy. You got your bands, which you're not going to mess with these much. But then you have your tracking center button. So you just feel for the big button, and you know what you got to work with there. Okay, so let's talk about the price and what the goggles can really do. The price of the Attitude SDs with the transmitter and no battery is, I think, $379 now, or $359, and that includes the small case, which is about half the size of the Flyzone case, which I'll show you. It's about half the size, and it includes a head tracking cable, a video out cable, and a transmitter, a small transmitter, not the nice 600, but a small one. And they're about $359 to $379. Now the Flyzones, they're considerably more money. They're about $60 to $80 more, depending on where you go. And they have just the goggles and about 3 or 4 different tracking and data cables inside the box, and that's it. There's no video transmitter, no battery. So you think you're getting less, but I think you're really getting more. You have the diversity. You have this outside camera, which is absolutely huge. You know, when I'm flying with the Attitudes and I want to land the plane and I want to visually bring it in line of sight, I gotta stop controlling the plane, pull these up, and then I can go back to both hands on the radio. But with these, just takes a second just to hit that camera button, and there you go. I have a 120-degree wide view coming out the front, where I can just keep the goggles on and watch the plane by line of sight and now land it that way. Now the inside of the goggles And talking about the video display, there's a few differences. The difference with these internally, as far as the video is concerned, the Fatshark, these are the Attitude SDs, okay? And they are 640 by 480 VGA, okay? And it has a 35-degree field of view, 922,000 pixels. Now the Flyzones have an 854 by 480, and they have 1,250,000 pixels for resolution. But their field of view is a little smaller. It's only 30 degrees versus 35, and that's measured diagonally. So basically, it's not enough to where you can't make it up with a wide-angle lens on the camera. These image of these is much sharper. It's a clear image. As far as I don't wear contacts or glasses or anything like that. I have 20/10 vision, but these have a really nice clear image, and you can see things with greater detail at greater distance. Another difference with the price point, and I'll be honest, it's this diversity system. This is a great setup to have. You can put a clover leaf on this side, and maybe a 4 or 5 turn helical on this side, and you can have true diversity right here with these goggles. Where the Fatshark, you're pretty much limited, one antenna. You might have to turn your body because these are both on the 5.8 frequency band. And 5.8, as we all know, doesn't have very good penetration. It doesn't like trees, it doesn't like skin, it doesn't like buildings. So line of sight is key with 5.8, and having diversity, I think, is a big plus for these goggles. Also, the channels. This has 8 channels, and this has 32. You're going to be able to get all the Boscam frequencies on these goggles. You're not going to need wires going into them like you would with the Fatshark Attitude SDs. The only thing I really, they each have their own pros and cons. But with these being the newest, latest, greatest thing out there, the resolution definitely makes them worth the money by itself, just the resolution. When you add the diversity antenna system, you add the outside camera, you add the 32 channels, and even if you subtract the 5 degrees field of view compared to the Attitude SDs, it's a huge feature and advantage for $60 to $80 more in price. So if you're going to go with Fatshark, stay with Fatshark. But if you're going to go with the top of the line Fatshark and you want something maybe a little better than that, check these out, guys. The Flyzone, they're the Boscam Flyzone goggles with diversity. They're brand new. They retail for anywhere from $400 to $450, and these retail from $350 to $380 American. They both have a lot of great features, guys, but I think hands down my choice, and I've flown with these for years. They're my baby, these Attitude SDs. I think I'm going to have to switch to these Boscams. They're really nice, sharp, clear image. The outside camera is a big seller for me. Neither one of them do come with a battery, so that's really no big deal. But the battery range on this Flyzones are really great. You can use all the way up to a 6S, and that's a great feature to have. The buttons are nice and easy to feel. The biggest buttons are the ones you're going to be using when you're wearing the goggles. And so these are the Flyzones. They also have the same interpupillary distance you can change, and you can put the inserts in here too for diopter inserts. Another thing with these goggles is the antennas are SMA, not reverse polarity SMA like a lot of Chinese receivers. So these are SMA. They're completely compatible with the immersion SMA connectors. And also the battery jacks are identical. So you can use a Fatshark battery with these goggles. They do have a place in the strap, even though it's on the wrong size, or the wrong side, I should say. But you can change, there's a gap there, you can change the strap around and fit a battery in there so it plugs in here. Also a little bit, something nice that I really did like about these is the the video jacks are on the bottom, and instead of the side with the Fatshark, if you fly 1.2 and you don't have a repeater on your ground station, you're plugging into the video here, and it sort of makes it nice where you can just feel up and plug your battery in, or unplug your battery after a flight, and then in this you're your video is in through the bottom. The only thing you have to worry about is you have to make sure it's snug, or it might fall out. That could be a pro or con, any way you look at it. But here they are, guys, the Fatshark Attitude SDs and the Boscam Flyzone goggles, head to head. You guys make the choice. They're both great goggles. Place where to go to get them, Ready Made RC sells these and these. There's a lot of good FPV stores out there, guys. I highly recommend Ready Made RC in Ohio. And you guys be the judge. Thanks for watching. Ask any questions you have, or if I forgot anything, please just let me know. And I'll be sure to answer in the comment section. And thanks for watching as always. And please subscribe. And tell your friends to subscribe. Thanks a lot.